So picture this. A 14-year-old girl gets into a huge argument with her friend at school, which lands her right in the principal's office. They're sitting there trying to get to the bottom of the drama, and for some reason they end up searching her backpack. But what the teacher finds inside completely catches them off guard. There's $300 in cold hard cash just sitting there. Here's the crazy part though. Her family is actually really struggling financially. They definitely don't have that kind of money to just give away. So a 14-year-old kid from a low-income family casually carrying around $300? Doesn't that strike you as incredibly suspicious?
Naturally, the school immediately called her parents in for a meeting. The teachers needed answers. Did you give her this allowance? Why so much? Or did she get this from somebody else? The parents were completely floored. They were like, "Are you kidding me? We can barely make ends meet as it is. There's no way on earth we could just hand her $300. So the parents and the teachers all turned to the girl, pressing her for the truth. At first, she completely clammed up. She kept dodging the questions and beating around the bush, but after a while, the pressure became too much. She broke down sobbing and finally confessed. She told them about a creepy, intimidating older man. She said he paid her to go over to his house to give him a massage, and then he did something that completely freaked her out and left her frozen, not knowing what to do. When it was over, he just handed her the $300. The entire room went dead silent in pure horror. Panicked, they immediately demanded, "Who is this man?"
And the name she dropped? It was none other than Jeffrey Epstein. Just a quick trigger warning before we dive in, guys. Some of the images and details we're about to cover can be pretty heavy and potentially distressing. If you're someone who is easily triggered or sensitive to this kind of content, please prioritize your mental health. You absolutely don't have to keep your eyes on the screen the whole time. Feel free to just look away and listen to the audio instead.
Let's backtrack a bit and talk about who Jeffrey Epstein actually was and how he built his fortune. Epstein was born and raised in New York, coming from a distinctly lower middle-class background. Believe it or not, he started his career as a high school math and science teacher at the elite Dalton School. But here's the kicker, he didn't even have a college degree. A lot of people were left scratching their heads, wondering, wait, how on earth did he land a teaching gig there in the first place? His whole trajectory just seemed super sketchy right from the jump. While he was teaching, a wealthy parent noticed he had a real knack for numbers and hooked him up with a job at the Wall Street firm Bear Stearns. He did all right there, nothing spectacular, but solid enough. After a while, though, he left to start his own wealth management firm, strictly catering to ultra-rich clients. To even get him to manage your money, you basically had to be a billionaire. And this just deepens the mystery. Epstein had absolutely zero formal background or degrees in finance, yet somehow some of the world's richest people trusted him with their massive fortunes. This wild career pivot is essentially how he started rolling in money. I'm just giving you guys the quick rundown for now, but don't worry, I'll drop a full deep dive video entirely on his crazy biography later. I want to make it absolutely clear. What I'm telling you isn't some made-up story or an exaggerated rumor. This is pulled directly from the actual police testimony of that 14-year-old. To give you some context, this incident took place at Jeffrey Epstein's massive estate in Florida, located in Palm Beach. Now, the area is basically split into two different worlds. On one side, you have West Palm Beach, which is super diverse. You've got working class, middle class, and wealthy folks all living together. But just across the water is Palm Beach. That side is an exclusive bubble strictly for the ultra-elite, billionaires, powerful politicians, and A-list celebrities. So what exactly happened inside that house? This all went down in 2005, when the girl's parents found out she had received $300 for massaging an older man. They immediately went to the police to report suspected child sexual abuse.
In her official statement, the girl described arriving at Epstein's sprawling Palm Beach mansion. She admitted she was terrified the moment she walked in. She was led upstairs
And taken into a specific room. Right in the middle was a massage table, flanked by green and pink sofas. But the most disturbing part,
the walls were completely covered in nude artwork and photographs of women, including explicit pictures of underage girls. At just 14, she instantly knew something was deeply wrong, but she was completely out of her depth and didn't know how to handle the situation. Then, Epstein walked into the room wearing nothing but a towel. He lay down on the massage table and ordered the young girl to take off her clothes. Paralyzed by fear, she complied, stripping down to just her bottoms. He then told her to massage his back. In her mind, she was just thinking, "Okay, let me just get this over with quickly so I can get out of here." But then it escalated. Epstein flipped over onto his back, completely exposing himself. He started forcefully groping her all over her chest, her bottom, her legs. And the most sickening part? While he was doing that with one hand, he was using his other hand to masturbate. After a while, he finished, casually wiped himself off with a towel, and handed her the $300 in cash. And before she left, he told her, "If you come back, you can get more." This incident completely blew the case wide open, turning it into a massive child sexual abuse investigation. The police were trying to figure out, how did this even start? How did you end up at this guy's house? The girl's answer shocked them. She revealed she was actually recruited by a friend around her own age, like 14 or 15. Her friend basically told her, "Hey, if you want to make some easy extra cash, just go give this guy a massage. You'll get $200 to $300. The cops were stunned. Wait, another little girl brought you into this? It turns out Epstein was running a sick kind of pyramid scheme. If a girl who had previously massaged him didn't want to come back, he'd tell her, "Next time, just bring me another girl your age. You don't even have to do anything, and I'll still pay you $200. By the time this whole operation finally blew up in 2005, police interviewed the victims and realized it wasn't just this one girl. There were over 40 underage victims, mostly between the ages of 14 and 17, and their stories matched perfectly. They were all recruited by their own peers. That was Epstein's master plan, paying his victims to recruit new ones. Now, during the interviews, some of the victims actually had to describe Epstein's anatomy to the police. Do you guys want to hear this? I kind of don't even want to say it, but let's just go there. According to multiple testimonies, his private parts were shaped strangely, like an egg. It was reportedly thicker at the base and tapered off to be really small at the top. So many girls independently described this exact same egg shape. There's actually a deposition video out there where Epstein is being questioned under oath, and the lawyer straight up asks him about this specific detail. Let's take a listen.
Sir, according to the police department's probable cause affidavit, one witness described your penis as oval-shaped and claimed when erect it was thick towards the bottom but was thin and small towards the head portion and called it egg-shaped. Those are not my words, I apologize. But as Mr. Critton has stated, that this is a... I'm willing to continue.
As you can see, when he hears that question, he looks absolutely furious and visibly uncomfortable. But guys, the details that have come out about Jeffrey Epstein are just absolutely wild and incredibly dark. I'll be covering the rest of this insane story in my next video. Before you go, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Please hit that like button, it really helps out the channel and gives me the motivation to keep making these videos for you guys. See you in the next one.